Still in camp mode here. Tomorrow we'll get more to the opener in preparation for that, but it'll just be extra work. We still need to develop guys, and especially our young players, and figure out where we're going to play people. But obviously we're getting a little closer to that, and have to combine the two this week. It's always a tricky week, and you had school starting, so less time with them. So just going to have to maximize what it is.
I know after Saturday's scrimmage, you felt better about how the defense performed and responded after film and taking a closer look. What else have you seen from them?
Same thing. They played really well. They tackled well. They didn't give up explosive plays, carried over into today's practice. Outside of 7-on-7, I don't think we scored today offensively. So, that's really good, especially in 4-minute, 2-minute situations, to stop them both times in the 4-minute and the 2-minute. Is an issue on offense and really good on defense.
Have you found any of the depth you were looking for after that first scrimmage, or are you still kind of struggling to find people to stand out on the second teams?
Well, I think that's position by position. We are, limited at a number of positions with injuries. I would say positionally, offensive line, we're very low on numbers. So it's been hard to develop guys there. Same with receiver, same with tight end. Running backs were healthy and feel pretty good there. Our secondary is pretty healthy. Feel like we're developing some guys there, and linebacker and D-line. So really, our defense is pretty healthy. Our offense is not.
That's more of a big picture question. There's a story in Sports Illustrated that Ross Dellinger wrote it about NCAA moving closer to an immediate expansion of the 25-person signing class because of transfer portal. Have you had many discussions about that, or are you guys having to sort of make some plans different ways in the event that happens?
Yeah, I don't know that. We've not had a conference conversation about that. They've not made us aware, so I'm not sure what Ross is writing about or how much truth is to it. There should be some relief somewhere, whether that's for grad transfers, whether that's for players that leave eligible, something, because you're going to have I said this when it started, you're going to have a number of issues because guys are leaving. You can't replace them, and when they're going other places, they're taking spots from other kids. So really, you got hundreds of high school kids that are not going to sign anywhere and have places to go that would have. So be careful what you wish for.
Just looking through the roster, it looks like Jalen Cunningham is now on the defensive line, and Ladarius Cox is on the offensive line. You can just kind of go into what went behind those moves.
Just looking at some things. Both those guys have skill sets that, could have a chance on the other side. Jalen played there in high school. Really, that's all he did in high school, I guess, but one play where he told me that Coach Luke saw him for the one play on offense. But that's all he's known was defensive line before. So we'll see. It's a big body. So they've been there a couple days.
Have you seen anything in particular from Eli Acker or from Bryce Ramsey kind of having to step in with the one sometimes on the offensive line?
Yeah, both guys have done really good things. Eli's limited right now, and Bryce has been in and out as well. So, kind of common theme at that position, especially with our twos. So, but both guys have done some really good things.
Do you expect Ben or Orlando to be able to practice at all this week?
I expect everybody to.
Kind of a follow-up, if you don't mind. I'm curious, the way that the legislation is now with the 25 and all the people in the transfer portal, does it change the way at a SEC school you look at a high school player in terms of, hey, can he help me right away? And if he can't, I look at him differently. And if you could put your FAU hat back on for a minute, when you were there with this, would this change the way you recruited high school kids, or would you be more apt to fill the majority of your class with guys out of the portal?
Okay, I got to be two head coaches here. So Ole Miss first. It does change how you look at it from a pure number standpoint. Not necessarily, you still need to take guys that will develop. So it's not just, okay, which guys will play right away, but now maybe you only take the 15 best instead of 25 best that you can find. Well, that's a big difference because you got to have spots for these other guys. You know, FAU, you know, a group of 5, I'm sure everybody's going to go about it different. It's like, you know, in NFL, they talk about NFL teams and this franchise builds by draft. This franchise builds by free agency. This one does a good mixture. It's the same thing, you know. And sometimes is it younger free agents or is it veteran free agents? And that's kind of grad transfers. So I think everybody's going to be different. I think, you know, you could really you can change a program anywhere quicker than ever now, but especially there because you could go get all these guys from bigger places that, you know, are leaving that you weren't able to get out of high school.